Hey guys, Metal Viking 82 here, back to show off yet more plunder that I've acquired over the last little while. This is part 2 of my 2022 haul, if you will. And I feel like this stack has a little bit more than the last one, strangely. So yeah, I'm just going to jump right into it. First up, we have Come to Grief with When the World Dies. Now, if you're not familiar with Come to Grief, they are a sludge doom metal outfit, originally based out of Massachusetts, now located in New Hampshire, been around since 2014. This is their debut full length, put out by Translation Lost Records, and yeah, this basically features several members of Grief who are no longer around, and they were definitely one of the few sludge bands that I could get into, so it was really awesome to see them with a new project, and this is so damn good. The vocals on here are just absolutely sick. How this guy does not tear up his throat, I do not know. But yeah, definitely check this one out. This one I was really excited to see. It got a CD release, so as soon as it got the email about it, jumped right on it and picked it up. This is Shrouded Infinity with Through Caverns Unknown. And Shrouded Infinity, if you're not familiar, are a death metal band from Louisville, Kentucky. Not sure when exactly it formed. This is actually a project of Cole Crutchfield, formerly of the band Knocked Loose, which I know when a lot of people hear that, that'll make them not want to check it out. But definitely check this band out because they are absolutely killer. This is the debut EP put out by Transylvanian Recordings. I actually had the tape earlier in the year, and like I said, as soon as I saw Transylvanian Recordings put out a CD version, I jumped up on it. This is definitely one of my favorite EPs put out this year. Highly recommended. Next up, just got this one recently, spun it several times, and it has kicked my ass every single time. This is Between the Killings with Reflection of Murder. Brutal death metal band from basically somewhere here in the USA. I want to say probably in Illinois because this contains members of Lividity and Maimed, among others. This is their debut EP put out by Comatose Music. And when I saw that Vaughn Young from Lividity was involved with this, I had to check it out because his Colossus project was absolutely killer, and this is just another awesome project featuring him. Solid brutal death metal. Go check it out. Next up, Posthuman Abomination with Mankind Recall. Posthuman Abomination, again, another brutal death metal band, this time from Italy. Been around since 2014. This is their second full-length album put out by Comatose Music. In fact, I've got several Comatose releases here and ones that I actually picked up in a Comatose haul at one point or another. I've only given this one cursory spin so far, but really digging it. I loved their first album, so... Next up, Texas Murder Crew with Wrapped in Their Blood. Again, more brutal death metal, though this time deep down in the heart of Dallas, Texas. Been around since 2018. This is their debut full-length album. They did put out an EP not that long ago, again on Comatose Music. Believe I did a review of that, so if you want my full thoughts on it, go check it out. But yeah, this album here, solid brutal death metal. Only spun it a handful of times so far, but really digging it. Now this one, I listened to this one. I discovered it through a group on Facebook, and I listened to it on Bandcamp so much. It finally got to that point, you can only listen to something so many times, and then it says, hey, it's time to open your wallet. And then it eventually gets to the point that if you keep saying no thanks, that it won't let you listen to it. Well, I ended up buying the digital, and then I saw Comatose sometime later had the CD version, and I picked that up. This is Ambulance with Introduction of Horrendous Pathological Practices. And this band right here is basically a gore grind band out of Colima, Mexico, Been around since just last year in 2021. This is their debut EP put out by Syndrome Productions. And basically, if you love early Carcass, the County Medical Examiners, God, I cannot talk today, or even the very first Ghoul album, this is for you. Excellent gore grind. Another one of my favorite releases of this year. Next up, Oregon Trail. Not Oregon Trail, that awesome game we used to play in school, but Oregon Trail with Appetite for Dissection. And yeah, this is a death metal slash grindcore band with members split up between Pennsylvania and Maryland. Been around since 2013. This is their second full-length album put out by Horror, Pain, Gore, Death. Limited to 100 copies. And pretty much this sounds just like very primitive death grind with vocals reminiscent of Chris Barnes, but back when he actually had a really good voice. Not his more modern stuff. Maybe like early 6 Feet Under-ish kind of, vocals similar to that. Really awesome stuff though. Go check it out. This band, I did a review of the single with Tatiana from Ginger as guest vocals. This is the new Decapitated with Cancer Culture. And of course, these guys are a technical death metal. Some would call them a death groove band out of Poland. Been around since 1996. This is their 8th full-length album overall, put out by Nuclear Blast. And I listened to this a handful of times. I really dig this album. I definitely like it a lot more than I did their previous full-length. I know a lot of people really wish they would go back to the sound of their first 2 full-lengths, but let's just be honest. We're never going to get that band again, I don't think. But what they do now, they definitely do really well. Next up, Temple of Void with Summoning the Slayer. And damn, do I love that album cover. And yes, I did get the t-shirt of this. So yeah. Temple of Void, doom death band out of Detroit, Michigan. Been around since 2013. This is their 4th full-length album put out by Relapse Records. And I have not had a chance to spin the whole thing just yet. But the few songs that I've heard from it, though, excellent stuff. These guys have yet to disappoint me, I have to say. Awesome, awesome doom death. This one, I said when I mentioned it once before that I was going to have to settle for the digital copy that I bought because, international shipping is a pain in the ass. Never know if your stuff's going to get here, get lost, damaged, whatever. And the shipping rates are just absolutely crazy. But I finally, broke down. I believe I ordered this around the time of my birthday, and I'm just like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to do it. I've got their first one on CD. I've got to have a CD copy of this one. This is Afterlife with Gates of Madness. Melodic death metal out of Bilbao, Spain. Been around since 2015. This is their 2nd full-length album put out independently by the band themselves. I did a review of this, and yeah. Go check that out for my full thoughts, but all I can say is definitely give this one a listen if you love just aggressive and heavy melodic death metal. Next up, Origen with Chaosmos. Again, really dig that artwork. Origen, technical brutal death metal band from Kansas, and also members in California and New York, so all over the country. Been around since 1997. This is their 8th full-length album put out by Nuclear Blast. Only given this 1 spin so far, but damn, this is just absolutely insane stuff. Ugh, those drums, I still can't get over them. Next up, Writhing Shadows with their self-titled death metal band from Birmingham, Alabama. Not sure exactly when they formed. Discovered these guys through Ken's Death Metal Crypt when he did Crypt Fest. This is one of the bands that was playing, and I really got into them. I've been trying to get as much as I can from them, and this is their debut full-length album put out by Gurgling Gore, limited to 500 copies. And yeah, this is just some nasty, old school sounding death metal. Highly recommend that one. Next up, I did a review of the single off of this one. This is Shed the Skin with Thermogenesis. Of course, death metal band from Cleveland, Ohio. Been around since 2011. Of course, another project of the great Ash Thomas. That guy is pretty much, in my mind, a definite legend in the death metal scene. This is the 4th full-length album from this project put out by Hell's Headbangers. And yeah, it Shed the Skin, so of course it kicks ass. And this one, last but certainly not least, don't remember if I showed it in another video, so I'm going to show it again because it needs to be shown again because it kicks that much ass. This is Mutilatred with Determined to Rot. Brutal death metal out of Toledo, Ohio. Been around since 2014. This is only their second full-length album put out by Redefining Darkness. Did a review of this. For my full thoughts on it, go check it out. But yeah, if you love awesome sounding brutal death metal, Mutilatred is right up your alley. All right, that is going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing. And until next time, stay brutal.